Namaste, divine beings. Welcoming you all here to know and to seek the light within is the highest of all aspiration that has been with humanity since the beginning of time. The light within is this innermost lamp, the inner guru that incubates in time, incubates in realities and circumstances, and is the vast, immense, highest self within each. I would like to begin our journey into this light, starting from the story of Ramayana. 480,000 words of Sanskrit written on palm leaf, 24,000 slokas. All of this done by one being. Who was he before all of this? He was in the forest as a robber until he meets sage Narada, who asked him, all this thievery and killing you have been doing, this karma, does it belong to you alone, or does it belong to your family members? So he thinks for a while and says, let me go check with my family members. He goes and asks his wife, and his wife says, what you do is your karma and you would have to work it out. He goes to his father and mother, and they too say a similar thing, saying that all of what you do is yours, and if you are able to provide from the goodness, there is good karma in it, but unfortunately you have been accumulating karma to survive. He now is shocked that all of what he did belongs to him. He began to understand the implication of karma hammering on him. Now he goes to sage Narada, a defeated man, saying, I understand. So Narada understands, sage Narada understands that this being had a very low level of consciousness and will not be able to handle the light of the actual resonance of the mantra. So sage Narada gives him the mantra Mara. Mara means kill. So he goes into reciting Mara, Rama, 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 and Mara becomes Rama, 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 and he starts meditating. Soon an anthill grows over him. And years later, when sage Narada walks by, recognizes that he is in the anthill and takes him out, but when he comes out, he is sage Valmiki. Now this enormous transformation, this enormous extent of leaving one layer of consciousness and moving to another layer of consciousness is the journey we have, each one of us have, as the absolutes in being and the absolutes of attaining in our lifetime and in the moment. The seeking, the primordial seeking is within each one of us. All of us seek to be happy. All of us seek joy. All of us seek pleasure. It's a natural state of seeking more of that. But within all of this is the 24 hours of time that creates its realities. There are the happy realities and there are the sad realities. And a perception of the realities. And we have breath that flips 5 times a day to the right. Every time it flips to the right, we are inspired. Watch the sunrise or the sunset, our breath would be the right. Check when you're sleeping or when you've just woken up or when you're tired, it would be to the left. So the breath too affects the cycle of our mind. And our mind cycles through every day. But now as it cycles, it's simply being a planet, observing its karmic patterns and sometimes accumulating more karma than ever. As it cycles round and round, but it's seeking redemption. It seeks the awakening. It seeks that period of timelessness from when the robber sat to go into the chant Rama, 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 Rama and become an anthill and incubate himself and become that beingness of a sage as Valmiki. That period is the timelessness of tapas. This timelessness of tapas that can change everything, any circumstance we are with, whatever the limits of our mind is, whatever the limits of our body is, we have tapas grace. Now, as we go through life, it is only absolutely natural that we all have our challenges. And our challenges are in many ways so perfect to each of us in our own ways. And we have a mind that goes up and down, up and down, up and down due to the circumstances. So, through all of this, what is it that allows us to break free of a tormenting mind or a mind that causes us happiness and sadness? What is it that breaks us free from the karmic flow as we move through life? What is it that breaks us through into being able to simply go into our light and be this light? This core is the consciousness, a light, lit. A guru's grace is to dissolve away the darkness by setting alight that sacred lamp within. To light this lamp within is to impart consciousness. The ancient consciousness, so Siddha Valmiki, when he was giving his diksha to his disciples, they did not need to spend years of time in timelessness to become the anthill. In a moment they woke up. All masters, enlightened masters of all cultures, sought disciples to transfer this light, to be able to impart this light. And this light is the light that once awake, now the fire is rising. Now we are nurturing that vast giantness, the vast immenseness within ourselves is being nurtured. As we face difficulties, we know exactly where to go. Go within. Take that reality. Take that challenge. And within, as intensified prayers, allow for that to allow for the resolution, as in the form of prayer, as in the form of miracle, as in the form of solution, as in the form of a greater thought, as in the form of shift in reality, as in the form of simply knowing. So as we journey through generating these energies, it means receiving the mantra from an enlightened master, going into the vibrancy of the mantra and stepping into the core within the mantra, which is the dance, and becoming the dancer and allowing ourselves to enjoy the grace joy of source unions. In this dance is where stillness is. In practical terms, when whatever we are doing, know that within a mantra is the grace blessings to know that there is a station, a point zero within for ourselves to simply reside in. Whatever might be our circumstances, whatever might be our mind, as in happy state or in a sad state, know that every breath we are source connecting. In source connecting, we are now slowly and gradually, or rather intensifying and awakening that vortex of light. This vortex of light is where all masters of light are. When we die, the only thing we take forward is the consciousness that we have brought forward. When we are born with that consciousness. But it is the human, every awake minute and moment, that expansion of consciousness is absolutely possible. To have the lamp lit is like receiving a divine cosmic child from God, from infinity, to be ourselves. When sages say, ask yourself, who am I? Know that we are each the cosmic child, the divine embodiment of consciousness. Now within this consciousness is whom we invoke, we become. Invoke Christ, be Christ. Invoke Lord Krishna, be Lord Krishna. Invoke Lord Shiva, be Lord Shiva. Each of these dimensions of divinity has its unique light presence. And this unique light presence is the wisdom that guides us. And within all of this wisdom is knowing that every moment being with Source, in Source unions, is states of joy. This is Bhakti. Bhakti means the love of God, the love of Source union, the love of infinity merging with our affinity. Bhakti is the fire, the sacred fires. So as we light our lamp, our Mother Kundalini is woken up. When Mother Kundalini is awake, we know we are in states of joy, of source unions. Adi Sankara the father of modern day Hinduism, about 2500, 3000 years ago, mentions that bhakti, divine love, and wisdom is one and the same. This divine love, when it is brought into our focus as the mind that is constantly reciting the mantra, now our mind becomes single pointed. When it has become single pointed, we are now going within to the light. The light within ourselves is that which we are building up as consciousness. When we have decisions to make, many times there is a lot going on in our realities, and that which goes on in our realities causes emotions, and the moment it has caused emotions, we are now back in the mind state. If we understand ourselves as the spirit having this human experience, and whatever might be the challenges in reality, we are able to put it inside, put it into the sacred fires, and affirm all of this experience, God, is not mine, it's yours. Affirm all these challenges that I am now facing are blessings. Transform this into blessings. If when we see we do not have, when we have that is holding us back, go into the tapas mode of allowing light to take all our challenges and burn it, and allow that to become the miracles of opportunities, the miracle of blessings. So within this journey, as we journey within, is to know that, like Siddhartha having this huge awakening as the first of the sparks that set him on the journey to become Buddha. That period of time, that same period of time when Valmiki sat down on the anthill, that particular dimension of incubating our higher self, this is faster, quicker, in grace of all the masters who had come before us. And 1,000 years ago, it took several lifetimes to come to the point of alighting the lamp and awakening the Buddha within. But as time has progressed, time has now condensed itself as a result of so many beings of light now, alongside with the IT revolution where information is able to be reached. So now, with so much of that light of consciousness happening, it is a singular intent to be the Buddha state that in a moment brings grace of awakening to the highest self that is served by all the beings of light. So, each moment, ask yourself, is my every breath connected with Source? When we go on, our subconsciousness is now connected with Source. So when we are awake, we know we are the spirit in the vibratory mode, being the pillow of light, literally being the vortex of higher vibrancies. So what happens before us is what aligns to the higher vibrancies within us. Tapas with the mantra, with the grace of invoking that divinity, is pure when Our intent itself is, hey God, you allow me to ask, you give me that which I must seek. So, if that is what we are asking for, which is the highest of the order, we rather say, hey God, simply be me. When I would climb up to see Guru Ayya, who was one of my 8 gurus, who was sitting on the mountain. 18 years he meditated, drinking just a cup of milk a day. And when you go there to see Ayya, you would be given a mantra, and you would say the mantra and walk around and round and round, and whatever you desire will come true. So after doing all of this, I sat in meditation next to Ayya and was contemplating of all that I thought I needed. At that time, Guru Ayya said, think of what you are asking in the human realities as a pin that is going to serve that moment. It's like a toy that will keep you happy for a little moment. But there are greater things to ask for. Ask for that. And that's when I realized I wished for you. I wish to be that light. I wish for being that consciousness itself. And I have no more to ask, but rather be that light. So everything that needs be, will be. So as we go through our mantra fires, seeking to be light, we now are the pillar of light that is happily served by all the angelic beings in the form of wisdom, in the form of dharma that negates a karma. Sage Valmiki, who woke up to understanding the weight of the darkness of his deeds, must have had the waves of awakening already hit him, because the moment we realize karma, that is the first step to understanding the spiritual light. Now we know that when we do good, dharma, now we know when our thoughts are from wisdom, we accumulate the light. We allow grace to flow, and we allow ourselves to be in the receiving end of grace. Being at the receiving end of grace means no matter what, we are protected, we are guided, and we are led to connect to the higher vibrant beings. In the journey within of tapas is knowing that our vibrations, if constantly is being pulled up by way of a meditation, we are now in the states of bliss. Lord Shiva, the yogi, is called Sachidananda, the being of bliss, experienced as consciousness. This is whom we each are. Now, as we come to work our karmic patterns, we realize the way we react to our karma with wisdom negates the karmic imprisonments and sets us into the higher realm. So every thought, think from the higher place of dharma. How do I serve? How do I help? If you see a being, see any human, Know that every human is divine. And just imagine in the mind you falling at their feet and getting the blessings. When we are able to see all of humanity as divine, and every human as divine, and every life as divine, now we are understanding the light of Dharma to be the receiving grace that speedens, that condenses timelessness in time. So when Buddha went through all that he had to go through, that included a major sacrifice of his family, his newborn baby, that would have been such a pain, and that would have also caused massive karma that at one time he would have to negate in the human reality. But here he was, he had become Buddha. Now, as Buddha, he was gifting that light to the millions. This light that was gifted negates all the karmic light, all the karmic bonds. So divine being at all times. No. This is the beautiful this is the beautiful mudra, because it allows us to go within and go beyond the mind and be the observer, be the spirit having this experience. Now, from inhale, no, we are inhaling from source. Any mantra you have, inhale it from source. Hold the breath sometimes. Hold the breath. Allow that energy field to move through and ascend upwards. When we exhale, imagine yourself simply exhaling to the crown. Now, there's the mind and there's the mindless mind. Where do we station this mind? Where's the resting place? Now, this is the yogic science of samadhi. This samadhi is where all the beings who attained awakened wisdom, awakened inner wisdom, what they practiced is samadhi. This samadhi is the core light, and this is where we are inside ourselves, within ourselves, and yet in the physical realities, when we perform, now we understand our mind has elevated itself on several layers and layers of consciousness. Now we understand that we are several multi-dimensional beings. We are a multi-dimensional being. So every challenge you see, we deploy one dimension. When we think of an artist, we normally think of an artist suffering in financial poverty. And it is a truth of incredible creative beings being able to create so many amazing things and yet not being able to move it forward as to reciprocate in livelihood, as to enable other areas of life to work along. When a flower blossoms, all the petals blossom. That is the multidimensional being whom we are. So while we are working with art, there's another mind working on the aspect of how the promotion is. While we are working out on the dimensions of sustenance, we are able to look into other responsibilities, like if we have children. We are able to take care of all these responsibilities by simply being the vast self of ours. This vast, enormous self is that which we awaken and a line as breath, and a breath takes the journey. And as it takes the journey, it goes through the process of death and rebirth every breath. So, death and rebirth within every breath is absolutes impossibilities of generating the vast, immense self. So, in this immense self, as the subconscious mind is going on and on and on in the mantra of the invoked, slowly but surely, all that which has been invoked becomes. Many years ago, when I had my wake up, and now I was a seeker, I was seeking, and I was given a Siva Lingam to meditate with. And as I started going deeper and deeper into my Siva Lingam in my meditation, now Siva Lingam is representative of the infinite in the finite as form. That's what a Siva Lingam is. So when I was given the Siva Lingam, to me this was where I could go so deep within, and I had all the challenges around at that time with everything crumbling around me, and I held on. And as I was chanting and chanting and chanting, sometimes hours would go past and I would never know it. I would start in the morning, I did not know that the next day has come. My grandmother came to me and said, "What you are doing now, you will know when the lingam starts talking to you, like the way you are doing the puja to the lingam, like the way you are worshipping, that lingam will now come to you, vice versa." And this is the light we all have within ourselves to awaken, to nurture, for then its radiance to shine. When we look at beauty, from the awake mind, it's all about vibrancies and the radiance. Upon attaining that light, we have become whole. The moment we have become whole, the single most energy that pulls us down, which is loneliness, now is changed from the pains to blessings. The moment we become whole, we realize ourselves simply being states of joy, irrespective of what the circumstances. We realize ourselves a spirit. No more of the memory bank of our mind for us. No more of the karmic nature of reaction. Whatever comes to us, we see things from the wisdom state. When we are from the wisdom state of Turiya, we are also able to see what is, we are also able to evaluate and see our thoughts of the future, thoughts, what happened in the past, what is the thought, what is the thought of others. So in all of this is knowing that being in the state of tapas is like using the muscles of happiness. The more we use, the more we go to the core, the more we generate the light, the more we generate the vaster self of ours. That's whom we are and become. Now, as we do this, what is our innermost vibrancy as wisdom? So naturally unfolds as the heavens that we desire. This is also vital in especially health and vitality. So when you go into this state of wisdom, when you go into the place where we are source connecting and surrendering the only thing we actually own, which is our own breath, when you surrender it to the light, the outcome of this is the vibrancy of energy, and the energy feels that essence upwards, rejuvenating us, healing us. If we are recuperating, this energy heals us. Wherever we are, this energy now is also like an immune shield. It is the vortex of light that we are generating and that which we are being. So, divine beings, utilize this innermost core light. Whenever we are challenged by realities, simply go within, and from within work that energy through with the mantra grace. Recite the mantra 108 times with that particular challenge within you and dissolve it. Emerge 1,000,000 times greater. Emerge aligned to the primordial core. The core really is ground zero, the 0 point. All of the Eastern traditions mention about that zero, the 0 point. This 0 point is being awake. Now our journey has started. Now we're utilizing this foundation to be the enhancement of all the angelic potency within ourselves. This, divine beings, is the core light within each of us to awaken and simply be. Awakening to be the unions of source, where infinity and infinity are together, where we are aligning our highest wisdom with our intellect, and where we are allowing for the grace to shine through our realities. We are in perfection of union, yogam. Yogam is a Tamil word which means the perfect unions with source. Today it is used colloquially to mention a person is very lucky. If you say a person has yogam, it means a person is very lucky. But yogam actually is good luck. Good luck in all the senses. When you are whole and complete, what you seek comes to you in all the wholeness. If you're seeking a life partner, yes, seeking whatever, it's simply tuning into our innermost vibrancy. This vibrancy, set alight, nurture, celebrate, find the dancer, be the dancer, and allow the dance to be. And in this dance is stillness. From the stillness, simply multiply ourselves as the many as one, and as the one as many be. Om Namah Shivaya, divine beings. Grateful for the moments we shared together. To learn more or to connect with Nandiji, email us awake@nandhi.com, NANDHI.com, or visit our website nandhiji.com, NANDHIJI.com. In grace and blessings as one. Om Namah Shivaya.